doesn't like guests.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Elite Realm channel. In the last video, we gave you a quick rundown of the first part of the game, Poppy Playtime. You can find the link above. Now, we're going to tell you the story of the second part of the game. Don't forget to give us a like or a comment, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any new videos. Prepare your snacks and let's dive in. After the player passes out in the Poppy room, they start to dream about the Mommy Longlegs commercial VHS tape as Poppy in the VHS tape whispers to the player to wake up during the dream. When they wake up, they find that Poppy fled from her case. However, when they tried to exit the Poppy room, the player found out that the entrance of the room was blocked, prompting them to find another way out. Eventually, they find a white door behind a closet, and when they open it, the player discovers that the factory is much larger than expected. After traversing through a large hallway, they reach Elliot Ludwig's office. To gain entry, the player must locate the key. Upon entering the room, they must traverse through a loose ventilation vent, which then leads them to an enclosed room. As soon as the player must solve the given puzzle, Poppy suddenly crashes through a box, startling them. She offers her apologies and proceeds to explain their dire situation. Poppy, determined to help, takes it upon herself to lead the player out of the hazardous game station, located deep within the facility. Despite safely navigating through the labyrinth with Poppy's help, their plans for escape are abruptly halted when a spider-like monster named Mommy Longlegs makes a sudden appearance. With shocking speed, she assaults Poppy and drags her away, leaving the player to face the challenge alone. Determined to rescue their ally, the player must now enter the game station and face off against Mommy. Upon entering the station, they're immediately confronted by Mommy as she snatches a hand, the red hand, from their grab pack and later reveals Poppy captive in her grasp. The Iliism Spider claims that the only way to escape is by playing 3 increasingly difficult games after years of inactivity. However, Mommy Longlegs warns that failure would result in her devouring them alive. Prior to engaging in the player's first game, Musical Memory, they're directed to make a pit stop at the molding room to design yet another innovative addition to their grab pack, the Green Hand. This exceptional feature permits them to preserve energy within their hands for a prolonged period until it gradually fades away. Operating with 2 hands, they can then commence the Musical Memory game.
Bunzo will slowly
During this
lower
challenge,
towards you.
the player must select the correct
complete
buttons in a
pattern
sequence that
correctly,
gradually
Bunzo
accelerates.
will rise back up.
The level of difficulty
When you-
increases until a
If Bunzo
multitude of
reaches
unnecessary
you,
colors
your
and symbols
test
appear,
is over.
all with the intention of
The
derailing
test
their
will become
progress.
more difficult
All
as it
while this
continues,
goes on,
with
Bunzo
longer
Bunny
patterns
slowly falls
in
towards
quicker
them,
succession.
slowly lifting back up with every
That's
correct
all.
pattern. If the player puts in the incorrect order, Bunzo would fall quickly towards them. With the excessive number of buttons, the emergency stop becomes active, and the player must press the button. As the game grinds to a halt, Mommy appears to be disappointed, while vaguely teasing the second challenge. Hoping to reach the game station via a shortcut, the player ventures into the rejected room, maneuvering through the vents. During this journey, the sound of Mommy killing Bunzo Bunny can be heard. Upon arriving in the rejected room, the player must relocate Brawn from a lifting pad that is hindering their progress. Once the mascot is moved, they swiftly make their way back to the game station through a narrow passageway and staircase, emerging unharmed. The second game, Wuggy, is accessed through a lengthy hallway, and the game itself is situated in an area
Welcome
featuring a
to
mural
Wuggy.
depicting a construction site and a sandy
This
floor.
advanced test is
The objective
designed
of
to
the
assess
game
the
is to
extent
use the
of
grab
your
pack to hit
reactionary
all the mini
abilities.
huggies and complete the round.
A dual
The
palm
player
grab pack
must hit
will be
all
one
of the
comes
mini
out,
huggies.
Hit it with your grab
This
pack.
game assesses their reaction time, and as the
That's
round
all.
progresses, additional mini huggies emerge, increasing the difficulty level. Completing this game takes under a minute, and as promised, upon winning, Mommy becomes more aggressive and reluctantly gives the player the second train puzzle piece. To continue their journey, the player must navigate through a compact storage room while the sound of mommy killing mini Huggies resonates in the background. After pulling themselves up a rundown staircase, they enter the cart corridors, a labyrinthine transportation system where an immobile minecart, Barry, awaits. The entrance is initially locked, and as they approached, the shadow of Wuggy looms before gradually approaching the player. As the silhouette appears through the vintage yellow light manor, the silhouette is revealed to be Huggy's feminine counterpart, Kissy Missy. In an effort to assist them, she pulls a lever before fading back into the shadows. With Kissy's help, they unlock the entrance to the cart corridors. They then proceed with pushing Barry down a steep ramp to crash through a series of wooden barriers blocking the exit. Once the exit is cleared, they return to the game station for the second time. In the third game, called Statues, the player must navigate a maze while being pursued by PJ Pugapillar. They can only move when the lights go off and freeze when the lights turn on, mimicking the classic game of red light, green light. If the player moves when the lights turn on or gets too close to him, PJ would kill them. When the game's ending is rigged, the player must escape the game. Successfully completing the grueling third game despite its rigged nature, their victory infuriates Mommy Longlegs, becoming increasingly agitated as they refuse to fall for her manipulation. The player proceeds towards the game station via the water tank. But as they ascend a flight of stairs, Mommy blocks their path. The player must bypass her by climbing into a ventilation system, but Mommy catches up with them before they can get away. In an agitated, selfish tone, she accuses them of cheating and declaring that she will play one last game called hide and seek. The player must survive Mommy's pursuit, eventually luring her into a grinder and activating the lever, ensuring her demise. Suddenly, a mysterious claw-like hand emerges from beneath the partially closed door and drags Mommy's severed torso into the darkness. Simultaneously, another door on the right side of the room opens, granting the player access back into the game station. Navigating through Bay 09, they discover Poppy trapped and proceed to free her. With Poppy safely on board, the player inputs the correct train code, and the engine of the train starts to move. However, Poppy, in awe of their exceptional agility and intelligence, has a sudden change of heart at the last moment. She alters the train's direction, asserting that they are too perfect to lose. Poppy reveals that she has had time to ponder and reflect, and believes that together they can set things right. Before she can finish her statement, the audio cuts off, leaving only garbled static. Poppy manages to utter a perplexed, "What?" before the sound completely disappears. The train accelerates alarmingly, leaving the player with no option but to pull the emergency stop lever to prevent the train from running out of control. Unfortunately, their efforts prove futile, as the train ultimately derails and crashes, plunging into darkness and causing the player to hit their head in the process upon impact. However, before blacking out, they catch a glimpse of a sign for play care, hinting at what lies ahead for them. Then, the player loses their consciousness as well, leaving their fate uncertain.